Right now, the media landscape is significantly different than it was just 2 hours ago, with two of the highest profile cable hosts out of a job. First, the news that Tucker Carlson, who was regularly drawing 3 million viewers a night, parted ways with Fox News. And then, just an hour later, Don Lemon tweeting he is out at CNN after 17 years with that network. I want to bring in NBC senior reporter Jane Tim. Joyce Vance is a former U.S. attorney, professor at the University of Alabama Law School, and an MSNBC legal analyst. Eric Deggans is a TV critic for NPR. I'm glad to have all of you here. Jane, first get us up to speed on Tucker Carlson specifically. What do we know?
So Tucker Carlson was, as you said, a ratings giant. His departure appears unexpected, at least last week. On Friday, he said, "See you Monday," gave a major keynote address at a heritage party this weekend. It does not appear that it was planned, and Tucker Carlson's not out with a statement. Now, we have no reporting that indicates it's tied to the massive Dominion settlement from last week that we've been reporting on so closely, but the timing is, of course, curious, and whether or not it's related to the alleged defamation and that massive settlement, or perhaps something we might have learned about Tucker Carlson or Fox News might have learned about Tucker Carlson is what people are sort of curious about now. The timing is, as I said, curious. The idea that a lot of emails, communications, and internal sort of workings of his show and other shows at Fox came out in the sort of the bathwater of this Dominion lawsuit. We also know that a fired producer, Abby Grossberg, alleged harassment and a toxic work environment in a lawsuit that came after the Dominion one. And there was an outside counsel that investigated those claims and told her lawyers that they were unfounded, but that investigation did conclude recently. So whether or not it's something to do with that or something we have, at this point, no idea about yet, remains to be seen.
Would it be fair to say, Eric, that this is shocking? It isn't every day. Whatever happened, and that lawsuit and $787 million notwithstanding, also not to minimize it, but to get rid of your most popular host.
Yes, it is shocking. And I think it's also proof that for people who are concerned about the misinformation and disinformation that appears on Fox News, perhaps the most effective way of combating it is to target the way the channel makes money off of these kinds of broadcasts. A big settlement figure, also a sense that there was another lawsuit waiting in the wings. There's also another voting machine company that is poised to sue Fox News. And if you think about other people, big stars who've been displaced from Fox News in recent years, Roger Ailes, the founder of the company, and Bill O'Reilly, who was then its biggest star, both got displaced following sexual harassment claims. And so, I'm looking at this lawsuit from the former booking producer Abby Grossberg, and I'm wondering if that was a factor as well.
Well, Joyce, again, as of right now, there is no public connection between Tucker Carlson's departure and the defamation lawsuits Fox has faced and obviously just settled. So we don't know. Neither side has said that. But if you're working, for example, on the defamation suit for Smartmatic, a voting technology company, does his departure change your strategy at all? Does it change the legal part of this at all?
Right. So that could possibly be a motivation behind Tucker Carlson's departure from Fox at this point in time. The Dominion case is over. The pain of that settlement was already baked in. So why cause the company to lose value as it did after the announcement that Carlson would no longer be with them? And the Smartmatic lawsuit could be one answer to that. There's still redacted pleadings from the Dominion case. We don't know what's in them, but we do know that Carlson made a number of damaging comments, including the point at which he tried to get a fact checker fired because he thought that checking facts would cause them to lose viewers and to lose money. So that sort of information moving into the Smartmatic case, a $2 billion lawsuit, might be something that Fox decided that the freight was a little bit too heavy to bear and it was time to rip the Band-Aid off.
Eric, I mentioned Don Lemon is also out from CNN. Both sides agree he's leaving, but Lemon tweeted that he heard it from his agent and complained that management didn't talk to him directly after 17 years with the network. CNN then tweeted out a statement saying, quote, Don Lemon's statement about this morning's events is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. Lemon also said, by the way, Eric, that there were larger issues at play. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's going to take some reporting and some time for this dust to settle to figure out exactly what happened here. But it seems obvious that Don Lemon's comments that were viewed as misogynistic and problematic earlier, that has continued to resonate, and that was making it difficult for the channel. The LA Times has one quote saying that they're hearing from unnamed sources that there was a backlash sort of building amongst advertisers and some people who might support their broadcast. And certainly their ratings, they were struggling for ratings. And they needed a big change to signal that things might be different and try to get viewers to watch the show again. So it's one of those situations where you may have seen a bunch of different influences coming together in one big move. It's surprising that it happened so quickly and that it's happening in kind of a messy public way.